Welcome back. So in continuation with our navbar, let's head over to our CSS style sheet. The next thing we do is to style the menu. ID of menu. That's what we gave to the this div, the second div that contains all this UL. Remember, inside the nav we have the image logo. We have a div that contains all these anchor tags and lists before we have the final div. So this div is we gave it an ID of menu. All right, so we're setting the display of that div to flex direction set to row, justify content flex start. That is, peradventure let's assume this whole place is the flex. Setting something to flex start means it will start from the left because it's set to row. If it was set to column, flex start, it will start from the top. So in this case, we are setting it to row. So this whole thing, we're going to spread it across the page and it's going to start from left all to right. We gave it a width of 70%. That is, out of this whole header, take 70% of it all. So we're just this 1 year and this 1 year are going to share the remaining 30%. So, and we gave it a margin right of minus 15M, margin left of 0. So when I save, this is what we have for now. Okay, this is what we have for now. It is shifted here. Now inside this div, we now have the UL. So we're going to now style the UL inside that div. Next, can you see the UL inside this div with the ID of menu? So we're setting the UL also to flex. Now, I just thought about it. There was actually no need to actually wrap it in a div. I probably should have just add the UL alone. I didn't need to wrap it in a div because the UL itself is already serving as a parent to this. So this div was not necessary. Oh, sorry, it was necessary. I see. I didn't just have the UL. I also add this submit button in it. All right, I was wondering that why will I want to wrap it inside the div? So inside the div, we have these guys, and we also have this funny looking button. So first of all, let's style this UL or this another list. Back to our CSS. Okay, so for the UL, we're giving it a flex direction of row, justify content, space between. List style, none. I've explained that before. When you set the list style to none, all these bullet points will automatically disappear. And then, okay, similar, we're giving it a width of 70%. So 70% of this div. Remember, this div is taking 70% of the whole head, of the whole head, of the whole navbar rather. So this UL is going to take 70% out of this whole the space of this div. We're giving it a margin right property of 4M, margin top minus 1M. We want it to go up, to shift upward a bit. And then margin left of minus 7M. So it should probably shift to the left. I save and then we refresh. This is what we have now. Can you see shifted to the left? Okay, so they are shifted to the left so that there can be more space for these guys here, and then they are aligned together with this one. So next, okay, so the anchor tag inside menu. Remember, all this inside the menu div, we have the UL which we just styled. Inside the UL, they all contain LIs, and inside each of them we have anchor tags. So we are styling all anchor tags inside this div, which refers to all these 5 links here. Color white. Apparently our color is still something that looks like blue, so we're changing the color to white. Text decoration set to none. What that would do is it will remove this underline property from it. Text decoration set to none. In font size 16 pixel and a font family of Arial and Helvetica with sans serif as backups. All right, so I this was exactly what they used on their site, so I just used it exactly. So if we save our link should be looking better. Okay, they are looking better now. Now we're going to proceed to this guy here. Oh, I think we should probably have an over effect. All right, so first of all, the button, that is this button inside this div. Remember, we added this button inside the div. Inside this div, we have this list and we have this button. So now let's style the button. And to style it, we're changing the background color to this light shade of, green, very light shade. That is exactly what WhatsApp uses. All right, the font size, we have a text inside. So we're changing the font size to 1M. Next, the height of the div to 3M. We're giving it a border. The border of this color so that it won't be visible. Apparently now, it is obvious that there is something that looks like a black border. But when you make the border of a button the same color with the background color of that button, the border won't really show. It won't really show. So that's what I just did. Border, I changed the border color. I made it the same with the background color, so it will just blend. Align items inside the button, the flex start. I gave it a border radius of 30 pixels to make it a bit rounded. If you look at theirs is a bit rounded here. So you can see theirs is a bit rounded, and that's why we also added the border radius to ours, because apparently it's looking like a rectangle. So the border radius would do that for us. Padding left, padding right, the same thing. We want more space by the left and the right. You can see apparently ours is choked up. There's no space left and right, just a little space above. But theirs, it's the effect is more visible because there's more space by the left and by the right. So we're doing similar thing. And then margin top minus 2M. Apparently ours is not aligned. So margin top minus 2M will shift it a bit up, and so it will align with these guys here. So lastly, okay, let's say for now, let's ignore the transition, or let's just complete it once and for all. So next we have the over effect. That button, over effect. The only thing I'm doing is I'm adding an opacity of 0.6, and I said I define my transition here, all transition duration 0.4 seconds. So let's save now and look at it. What the opacity does is it would reduce the thickness of the color. So first of all, when we refresh, see what we have is looking like it's adjusted now. You can see that when I hover it, the color dims. The color dims. That is just similar to what they have here. Can you see? Similar to what they have here. So we are getting we're getting close. All right. Now we go to this guy lastly. So next, remember we added a toggle button, and I said that toggle button, this is the toggle button here. If you zoom in, you'll probably see it. I showed us in the beginning, it's color black, and that is the button that shows when we are on smaller screen size. Can you see that the nav bar disappears, all the links has disappeared, but this one shows now. So when you click on it, it opens all of this. And I said we will not do that much because it has some JavaScript work with it. But for now, what we can just do is on our screen right now, we are going to set the display to none, so it will be visible. That you set the display to none does not mean it's not visible. It's there. I'm sorry that it's not there. It's there, but it's not just visible. So I'm setting the toggle button display to none. When I save, you look at it, it will disappear totally. I refresh. Can you see it's no longer visible, but it's still there. So it's creating reasonable space now. Now let's style this guy here. Font awesome. That's what I gave the ID. I mean, this bold thing that we downloaded, I gave it an ID of font awesome because that's the site we got it from. So I gave it a width of 12%. At least it's going to take 12% of the whole of the button, and that is a very small percentage anyway. I changed the color to this, and I gave it a background color. Sorry, let's be sure. Where's the font awesome? All right, yeah, the button. Okay, the button is what I gave the ID of font awesome. So we're styling the entire button now. The button rather is going to take a 12% width. This button will take 12% of this whole header. So 12% should probably be, somewhere here, not so much. It's just like 1/10 of this whole thing. So I'm giving it a 12% width. And then next, I'm changing the color, the text color now. That's what this color means. The text color. Let me see if we have any text on it. The text we have on it is EN, that is English. And I believe on their side it is a button to pick your preferred language. But so we're giving it that same color, that light shade, which is this one, the same color we have on this button is what we're giving this text. But the background color would have something different. The background color will have the deep version, and then we're giving it a margin top as well. Presently, you can see that it is not aligned to all these guys. So I'm giving it a negative margin top so you can shift up a bit and align properly to every other thing, every other element here. Margin top of minus 1.5 m. Border, I'm removing the border, none. Font size 1.2 m. And of course, I added the transition property because I added an over effect. So the font family, I added the font family, Lucida Sans as my first option. Lucida Sans regular, and I just added them like that. That is what WhatsApp has on theirs. Next, I had the over effect to that button. Once you over it, the only thing that I would need to happen is I want the background color, to also have this dimming effect, just like we had with the initial button. So I save now, just like we had in this one. That's opacity. So we're going to refresh and we're going to see the changes to our button. Okay. All right. Okay, this is the button for now. And then when I over it, you can see what it's looking like. This is what it's looking like. It is not totally formed for now, but we'll adjust that. So in the next video, we'll continue from here and we'll proceed to the main content. See you in the next video.